Emebet Petros is always on her feet. She's a health worker in a village in the southern town of Awasa, Ethiopia, and has a lot of ground to cover if she's going to visit all the homes she has planned for today.
I
cover a large area doing different things. There are around 1,400 households in the village. I have divided them into small groups. I take 16 days out of the month to visit these households.
Although the town of Awasa is more developed than most of rural Ethiopia, people in the rest of southern nation state, where Awasa is the capital, generally don't have running water or sewage systems. Adding to the problem, people here traditionally don't even use latrines.
Some people don't want to dig latrines. They say, "What do you want us to dig these things for? We need the waste for fertilizer." They don't want to leave the dry waste in the holes. They just haven't taken up the habit of using latrines. Others even say they will not use latrines until they have a boy child. It's like a superstition. We want boys, they say, so we don't want to use latrines.
She has had to be creative with the embarrassing message. Most people here have never been to school and cannot read. Diagrams have been an effective way to get the idea across. Demenek Mekonnen is one of Emebet's regular visits. Today, a simple hole in the ground is getting a much-needed facelift. The slab was donated by a local NGO and will make the latrine safer to use and easier to clean. But that only solves a fraction of the problem.
When I want to use the latrine, I have to wait to make sure there is nobody around. If there is, I go back to the house and wait until they leave, then I come back.
The United Nations reports that most Ethiopians do not have access to proper sanitation. Over 250,000 children die every year as a result.
Almost 60 to 80% of the health problems are related directly to sanitation hygiene practices. These are diarrheal diseases. Even pneumonia sometimes can occur as a result of overcrowding. Even malaria because of poor drainage of stagnant water and others too.
The government has for the last 5 years been on a massive campaign to change the statistics. In some areas, pupils could not attend school until they had a latrine certificate to show they had a latrine at home. The campaign has been so successful that 80% of the homes here now have latrines compared to 15% 5 years ago. So it's now being implemented across the rest of the country too. Dr. Shifero Taklemarian has been behind the campaign from the start.
The households became responsible and accountable to their own health and health-related issues, and that made the whole difference. of what happened in the region.
In the past, just one drop of rain and you couldn't enter the compound. It really looked like there was cow dung all over. Now our backyards are much cleaner. We couldn't even have guests like you. We were too ashamed. But now it's much better. Everyone uses latrines and there is no dirt anywhere.
I always use the latrine. I use it, then I wash my hands, then I go back to the house.
The latrines may not be much to look at. During the heavy rains, water seeps in and overflows, creating yet another mess. But the difference is clear.
There is a big change. Before we started using the latrines, the children were always sick with diarrhea most of the time. But now, things are better.
If the success of the sanitation program here can be recreated in other parts of Ethiopia, then the country is well on its way to a cleaner and healthier future.